Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel for maybe our second Sunday live show ever, I would say. With me today is Davide. So, how are you doing?
Good, thanks yourself. How are you?
I'm. I've done better.
Come on.
Um. So yeah. So Sunday, I think it will be a more relaxed show. I think. Let's see. Let's see when we start talking about things. We will talk about a bit about yesterday's game. I want to talk about Vlahovic. I also want to talk about the injuries, and I will link that with Fiorentina with the game during the week. I think on Wednesday. Yeah, we play on Wednesday, Coppa Italia to Fiorentina, which is kind of a weird situation we're in with our injuries. So we'll talk about that for sure. Um, but to start it off, you can speak about yesterday's game because I spoke.
Yeah,
Now it's your time to, yeah. what did you make about that? Of that, excuse me.
it's just a lot more of the same. I don't know, like few few chances that kind of look bright, but overall just disappointing. And clearly, Duzon is brilliant. I'm really starting to believe, like getting on the hype train with him now, seeing this over the past few games, and yeah, we just have to get him more service. You guys touch all the points on your pre games, your post games, absolutely. Like just moments of individual brilliance, but we still haven't come back together as a solid team. And the defense failed us a bit too this game, which that's supposed to be our strong point. So overall, it's kind of disappointing, but we pulled out the win, so you take it. What else do you do?
Um, I agree. Like usually that back line is not just the back line, but the way we defend basically um, is what do you want to call it? Our our safe house. Like it's okay. Like you don't really worry about it. But the last two games, that's the problem. They gave away a win against Villarreal, and they almost gave away yesterday's game also. So I agree. I agree with you with that, and that's. I don't want to say worrying, because I think it's just a weird moment. I think they will pick it up, because they've shown it over the last, I would say, 14, 15 games. 15 games that they are, I won't say the reason we are still where we are, but like they play a major part in where we are. But
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
yesterday's goal. I rewatched the game today in the morning. Danilo, I have no idea what he was doing. I have no idea what he was doing. Because the ball was between his feet and he was trying to backheel it. Like just kick it away. Like it's there. You feel it. You saw it. I was like, what are you trying to do now? Um, it looked messy. It looked messy. But besides
Yeah.
the two goals we conceded, like you can say your. I will ask your opinion, but as someone said in the comments, like that's not true. You're hating. I'm like, Empoli going into their locker room, they will think, how did we lose this game? We shouldn't have lost this game. And I agree with them because they were the better team. Like they were outplaying us. They were dominant. They were
Yeah.
pressing us, and we were clueless. Like on the ball, we were not good again. I don't know. What do you think about that? Because getting outplayed by Empoli, that's not a good look again.
Yeah, and because it is Empoli, you expect a bit more, especially coming off a couple lackluster performances. This would be the match that you kind of prove yourself, say, hey, we still have it. But I guess we don't. Dusan has it. That's more of what I'm seeing, right? Those individual performances, and it kind of reminds me a bit of when we had Ronaldo and we relied so much on him. Not to make like a complete parallel between the two players, of course, but we're starting to rely on a single player again, which is not what we want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with that. And people say Danilo had a good game beside that one. I agree, but at the end of the day, he's a
Yeah, he did.
defender, and you're gonna look at that. Like Delic had a great game against Villarreal, but he made the mistake. So
Yep.
that's your job. Like if Vlahovic was great all game long, but he misses those two chances, you will say yeah, that's not a good game because your job is to score goals. You miss those, I don't say easy chances, but you miss those. It will be like, yeah, I'm not gonna praise you for working hard. You didn't do what you actually should be doing. Um, so yeah, again, at the end of the day, because a lot of people are saying it doesn't matter how we win, we just need to win. And like usually, I would say, yeah, I agree. But looking at the schedule, we will play more tougher teams than Empoli. Maybe not better, but tougher. Like they will
Yeah.
not come at us. They will sit back and things like that. So I'm like, I need to see some performances now. I do because I don't think this will hold on for very long. Like at some point, it's a great streak, but at some point, you're gonna lose a game. I don't want to say it, but you're gonna lose or you're gonna draw too many games, and then like it's 11 games. I think people forget it's only 11 games. Like it can,
Yeah.
like let's say in 4 weeks time, you can be in fourth place with like 6 points ahead of Atalanta, or it can be the reverse role. You'd be in fifth place and 6 points of Atalanta. It could be really, it can go quickly now. So
Yeah.
I will ask you: do you think we need to worry about the performance, or are you just like, no, we are picking up the points. It's good like that. It's good.
I mean, you try to take a longer view on things, right? And this is a trend. So it's a bad trend in that sense that you expect to have a better performance out of these guys. They're talking like they've gotten better in their press conferences and whatnot. Everyone's hyping up how the team's working together, and it just seems like it's empty words right now. Like, hopefully in training that's true when they're starting to get that team cohesion. But yeah, long term you need to start seeing those results on the field in the actual games. So yeah, when you look at long term trends, it is worrying. At the end of the day, if if the next 11 games they pull out points and they land in the top fourth, sure, they managed to do it, limping home on damage control, but it's not how you want to do it.
Yeah. Um. Just because I have the feeling it will come to an end anytime soon. Just because the way we play is it's not sustainable. Like it cannot be
No.
sustainable. Like at some point you're gonna start dropping too many points just because the way we play. And now we're picking them up, but I would say the last two games before the Empoli game, so Atalanta and Torino, those two draws, like that's one, at least one of them should have been like, Torino are horrible. Like I watched them today,
Yeah.
I'm like, how on earth did we get dominated by them at home? I can still not believe it. Like they lost 3 out of the 4 games, the last 4 games, and one of them they picked up points against us. I'm like, how did we allow that to happen at home? So these small things they do worry me.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, but we're in the top 4 now. That's like, it's a false image. Atalanta still need to play 2 games, and if they win both games, you need to make up not 3 but 4 points in
Yeah.
11 games. That's a lot. You cannot slip up anymore. Like 4 points in 11 games is a lot. So I don't know. I'm worrying. Like we won yesterday, but I didn't have the feeling like we won. I don't know. I was preparing my match reaction. I was like, before I started recording, and I was like, oh yeah, we won. Like I need to chill a bit, and watch out what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But I didn't have the feeling we won. Like it didn't. How do you want to say that? Like it didn't
It was
really.
an ugly game.
Yeah, it was super ugly. It was actually
Yeah, and
ugly.
you don't feel. I know what you're saying. You don't feel like that sense of accomplishment because that could not have been a win. By all intents and purposes, that could have easily been a tie and a lucky bounce. We could have lost that.
Yeah, that's a feeling I had. I was like, yeah, we won. So I need to be a bit more positive. Um, but yeah, like the last two, I would say the last 3, because the Atalanta game, I don't think that was really bad. But the Torino, the Villarreal game, Empoli game, like you cannot be happy with that. And there was a debate today again on Twitter, basically saying, because people were comparing the Villarreal results, so they were showing the Villarreal results. They're doing well in the league, scoring a lot of goals, and the question was asked: is 1-1 really a bad result? And I was like, yeah, it was, because they weren't that good. We handed them the game, and now it's 1-1 with no away goal rule. It's a pointless game. Like, it's a throwaway game. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. The 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, it doesn't matter anymore. Going at home, like, it's pointless. So I was like, yeah, it's a bad result. Like, it's not a good. It's not because they're scoring in La Liga and winning that I should feel like, oh yeah, that's a good result. 1-1 away to Villarreal. I'm like, no, it remains the same. And the performance is like, it's like you said, like, with the backline, they're now a bit slipping up, in my opinion, or they're now quote unquote the problem in the last 2 games. It's like, if something works, something else will not function that game. Like, it will be like, can you just all click on all cylinders at the same time? Is that too much to ask? That's what I get when watching that team play at
It's
times.
true. Yeah, they're not syncing. The three phases are
Yeah,
not kind of syncing together.
yeah.
When they do, like that's I think that's what we're all waiting for, is when everything just clicks.
Do you think it's gonna happen? Because I don't think it's gonna happen with 11 games left. I don't think it's gonna happen.
11 games, Champions League, Coppa Italia. I mean, you as a fan, you want it to. Uh, History, kind of seems to be repeating itself. So realistically, will it happen? I don't know. We can only hope, but at this point, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely it's Allegri. It's Allegri ball. It's hard to watch. But we're watching it anyways, and here we are, kind
Yeah,
of grinding our teeth.
yeah. Like, I like Allegri. Like I said it many times before, but like, I'm not gonna blindly support anyone. I don't care who you are, even if you're a player I like. I will say you're in the wrong, because, well, everybody can see you're in the wrong. So I will say it, like, I won't be that stubborn, and keep, how do you want to say it? Because some people, like, they like a player or a coach, and for them they can do no wrong. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what happens. Like, that's not okay, because, like, you're lying. Like, we can see it. You're lying. Um, but yeah, before we move on, I will read out some chats, because the last few lives I'm kind of not
Yeah.
ignoring them, but like, it happens. Let me see. Yeah, Napoli won again. Like, in terms of Scudetto race, it didn't really matter if they didn't win. I thought it was better for us if you can hit them also in the top 4 race, but they won. So yeah, good for them, I would say. I don't know. I'm just saying, hope Bernadeschi continues that form before he had that mystery injury. Um, yeah, he was playing well. He was playing better than usually.
He
So
was.
I would agree, because we have nobody left. So everybody who's coming back from injury needs to perform now. We should be expecting more from Juve, but also remember how damn bad we were last year. Yeah, but Pirlo still had more points at this at this point of the season. So that's the, I don't want to say, I would say, the funny part of it. Still, it's a bit funny if you think about it. Like, and then if you think more about it, it becomes sad. Um, and just saying, King should play more against teams like Empoli. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, he scored yesterday, but he still wasn't good. Like, he wasn't good, in my opinion. He was better than usually, and he scored his goal, so good for him. But like, it's still not the same level. It isn't. So maybe, and we will talk about it. You know what? We will transition into it. Fiorentina on Wednesday. Coppa Italia. It's 2-legged semifinal, so we have a return leg. So yesterday, I told you, Julian. I told Justin, like, looking at our injuries and the priority, like the main priority for us this season, and we play again on Sunday. I was like, you need to rest some players on Wednesday. I know it's a
For
semi-final of
sure.
the Coppa Italia. I know that. I get that. But I'm like, we have 3 midfielders. We have 3 fit midfielders now. Are you
Yeah.
gonna play them again? I think that's,
We got to see young guy coming something.
Yeah,
Moretti's on everyone's lips, right? So
I agree because I'm like, can you take the risk of playing them three again and play Vlahovic and play Morata? Like we have nobody left. Like I'm even
well, you're
scared
just
to
gonna get
play
more
Delict.
injuries.
That's my fear. That's my fear.
Yeah,
But
Delict looks like he's about to break apart too, like he's a tank, but you can only take so much abuse. He needs a break.
yeah, but there's nobody else left.
No, I
That's
know.
my issue. And like I think, and again, I'm not saying go out there and play 7 under 23 players. Like I'm not saying that, but play Miretti or play Aki or play
Yeah,
Asule. Like play 2 of them and see what will happen. Like
I
if
would
you
like to see something. Yeah, Ake, Sule, those are the names I like to see. But Moretti, obviously, with midfield, we need to. I don't know. Allegri
like
do something.
if you lose that game 1-0 or 2-1, that's okay. Like you can turn it around. The away goal rule still stands from last.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Next season, it's also gone. It doesn't exist anymore in the Coppa Italia. But for now, it exists. So even if you lose 1-0 or 2-1, you can turn it around at home. It's okay. Maybe it's in April. Maybe you have a full squad again. Knowing us, we won't have a full squad, but maybe you have some more players. I'm
or in the
actually
worst
scared.
case.
Or in the worst case,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible.
The season's long. Yeah, definitely
So
at this point.
I'm scared. I'm scared that he plays everyone once again.
Yeah.
I will be
I think
actually
everyone is. We're all scared. That's kind of the feeling around the community.
Because at the end of the year, if we win the Coppa Italia and miss out of top 4, that's a disaster of a season. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
Again, if we
It
make
is.
top 4 with or without Coppa Italia, I'm not gonna celebrate it. But like that's the bare minimum. If you miss out on top 4, you win a Coppa Italia, it's pointless. Like it's useless. It's a useless trophy that season because
It is.
you have a Coppa Italia, but you're losing out on 80 mil or something. Like
And that's where I look at it. It's nice to have the trophy, but long-term financial goals, you need to get that top 4.
and that's how you want to say, that's very sad to say, basically, that you're giving that, like you're like, I need the money, we need the money more than a trophy. It's sad to say, but it's a reality at the moment. And looking at our squad, I would rest some players, and I would rest Locatelli. I would not play Vlahovic. I wouldn't, especially that game away from home. Don't do it. So those are the players I would rest for sure. And then at the back, if Rugani is back, but I don't think he's back. Rest the Lake. Let Danilo play center back with Bonucci. I don't know. You need to do something. It's gonna be interesting. Do I think he's gonna do that? Nope. No chance.
No, we're kind of like blowing smoke right now. Everyone talks about playing these young guys, but it never actually happens. We have to hope at this. Like, what else do we have? Because if he plays all these guys on Wednesday, what do we do on Sunday now?
Play them again.
Same thing.
Yeah. That's
until there's like no replacements and it's all under 23 guys playing. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it personally.
Because like looking at Allegri's press before the game, Chiellini is not gonna be back this week. Dybala maybe and Rugani, but not for Fiorentina. Going off the tone of his words, basically, I don't think they're gonna make the Fiorentina game. Bernardeschi, I have no idea what's happening with him.
Nobody knows.
I don't think Allegri even knows, to be honest, because like he said it like 3 times. Oh, he's almost back, but it keeps moving with a week. I'm like, yeah, he's not. So you guys have no idea what's going on, I think. And who's still out? That's it, basically. Chiellini, I said that, like, he will not be back this week, going off his words. So, I don't know. And Hanina saying the players are already exhausted. If he doesn't rest some of them, it won't be sustainable. I agree. Like, besides the injury part, they're playing a lot, some of these players. In an ideal world, we will play Bernard, Vlahovic, and Chiesa against Fiorentina to piss the Viola off. But if you play Bernardeschi, you will also piss me off, so... no.
Yeah, well, Chiesa obviously isn't an option.
Yeah, Chiesa's...
Unfortunately.
I was thinking about it today. Like, the service for Vlahovic would be different with Chiesa. It will be on a different level.
A lot of those crosses coming more lateral.
Yeah, and also the quality of the passes will, like, will
of
be just different. Because Morata's pass yesterday, it was awful. Like, that control from Vlahovic was unbelievable, but that pass was just horrendous. Like, if Vlahovic didn't do that, that would be a meme, because Like, how can you play that ball so far behind him? Like, he's running. Like, it's. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it.
That's what made the goal
Yeah.
so great, mind you, but the pass was trash. I was kind of speechless when it happened. It's like that should not have just happened there.
No,
That was a
but
brutal pass, but Dusan's amazing.
yeah, Benzema did it this season. Same. Like, he
Oh
controlled
yeah,
that. Some. I don't know how, but that was just.
it's just wild to watch. It's
Yeah,
cool.
and the finish, also the first one, like, he's ice cold in front of goal. He's actually ice cold, and
Yeah.
it frustrates me that we don't give him service at all. Like, it's in the box. He needs to fight for his life to get a shot off in the box most of the time. I'm like, this is not good. And most of his shots so far are coming, like, I thought it was like 70% of his shots are coming from outside the box. Like, that's too high. That's way too high. Like, you should be able to give him the ball in the box because he's deadly. Like, he's actually,
That's
and he can take shots out of the box because he has an amazing
yeah.
shot on him. But, like, if you pay 70 mil, you need to find a way to get him the ball in the box.
Oh, for sure, but it's a problem with the team. We haven't seen very many like drives deep in the box with clean opportunities, other than okay, yeah, Murata's had a few that he's fluffed, but I feel I don't know what the numbers are, what they say, but it feels like a lot is coming from outside the box this year, and that's why we're not finishing because we're just hoping, praying, kind of throwing things in from long range.
I agree. And Anzo saying, can the player rest against Spezia? Now, Fiorentina, I would love a goal from Dusan, but, like, it's not just
Yeah,
okay. Fiorentina is more difficult. Spezia, quote unquote, is the more easy, the easiest game basically of the two. But it's about injuries, and we have a thin squad, and the priority is top four. So that's all I'm saying. And, like, now is the moment to play Muretti or an Ake. Like, now is actually the moment to do that. Like, if you don't do it now, then when? Like, when? If I'm these youngsters, I'm out in the summer. I'll tell the club, like, I'm not staying on the bench. Just loan me out. Because if I'm not gonna play now, when there are basically 3 midfielders left, you play with 3 midfielders. Are you gonna play them all week in, week out until Zakaria is back? And I think he's gonna miss, I would say, 4 weeks or something like that, at least, looking at the reports.
probably.
So
Yeah.
it's like, are you gonna change the formation instead of just using a midfielder? I'm a midfielder. Just test me out. It's very strange because I keep saying it, Liverpool last season, like, that backline was wiped out. Like, they had nobody. They just played the kids and they made it work at the end of the day. Like, at some point, and they play like 3 kids at the same time, not 1, 3 in the same position. Like, it was insane. And at the beginning they were struggling, but they picked it up. And now
Oh, they figured it out.
yeah, and you're not throwing 4 under 23 players in, playing all 4 in midfield. Like, it's 1 midfielder and maybe a right winger, maybe. But
I don't know. Like we all want to see it. We just to start praying, I guess, is what we have to do, or start pleading at the heels of Allegri, because until everyone is just completely injured and he has no choice, I don't know if we'll see it. Not on a consistent or large basis, anyways. Not yet.
yeah, let's see. Like, let's see. If it were Pirlo, I would bet you everything that he will start one of those under 23 players on Wednesday.
He had a lot more faith in the young guys for sure, and I think that's partly to do with the fact that he is relatively young in the
Yeah,
especially for a manager, right? So it makes sense.
yeah, I agree. Hassa's asking about the Super League. What do you guys think? I need to hear what Daniele will say basically first before I can make an opinion, because
Yeah, it's
nobody
different
has
now.
an idea. Like, no idea what's gonna happen. And Anina saying should have integrated the youngsters earlier. Now you have to throw them in. Suddenly it's Allegri's fault. I agree with that, but
Yeah, she's right.
you have still no choices at the moment. So he didn't do it, but he still needs to do it now. And I think I keep saying it. Like, it can be a big flop. Like, he can come in and look awful. That's okay. It's normal. It's normal. Or he can come in and be fearless and be like, this is my opportunity. I need to show it now. And Fiorentina will be like, who is this kid? Like, we have no quote unquote tape on him. Like, who is he?
That's always a thing, yeah.
So there's two ways about it. Like, I understand. Like, it will be all new for him. Pressure away to Fiorentina. It's gonna be mad because they sold out like in a few minutes. Like, it's insane. They're waiting for us as always.
Yeah.
And we need to go twice to Fiorentina now and at the end of the season. So it can go two ways, but he can come in and surprise you. If not, you still have rested one of your key players. That's my biggest point of all this. Basically, it's not really about It's also about I want to see Moretti play because I like him, but it's more about rest Locatelli or rest Arthur. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's more about that.
Rest anybody. I guarantee you, anybody of our current starting 11 needs a rest.
Yeah, and Lucy saying Allegri is full of bad surprise. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's.
I think he's gonna do something weird on Wednesday. Something really weird that you look like, what?
He has the ability. Yeah, he has pulled tricks up his sleeve, but will he do it? I don't know. That's, I guess. I don't know. The anticipation now. Sorry, just talking about it's getting me ready to see what actually happens.
Yeah, I'm not nervous. I'm very interested to see what he's gonna do on Wednesday. Like, squad wise, composition wise, personnel wise, like what is he gonna do? I know what performance we'll put in because it's the same as always. I just want to see who are you gonna play, or are you gonna change something in the formation? But then again, what are you gonna change? Like, are you gonna play 3-5-2? Then you need to deploy even more defenders. We're already short. You still need to play 3 in midfield. I'm like, you need to find a solution, and I think the solution is using the youngsters. I think that's the only solution, in my opinion. But let's see. Someone saying sadly it took all our midfielders out to see Locatelli and Arthur together, and still,
it did. Yeah.
and still, he loves to change that. He doesn't want to see that. Like, going off his presser, like, he was basically saying, I have nobody else. Like, just they need to make it work. But once one midfielder returns, it's done for them once again. But Zakaria will be out for a while, so yeah, you're gonna need to play him. There's no option.
We'll see something. Like, we won't be completely devoid of watching any youngsters. We'll see something. I just don't believe it'll be to the level that we kind of want and expect.
I expect one on Wednesday. That's it.
Yeah, one, maybe two at best.
So yeah, let's see. Let me see. Players, Nanva saying players' technical ability seems to regress. Some never had technical ability, I think. But yeah, like, with every game passing, the passing. No pun intended. It's getting worse. Like, we on the ball, we look so how do you want to say it? Sloppy, scary, scrappy. Like, at times I'm like, you can be professional players. Like, that's not possible. Like, the passes these guys sometimes play, I'm like really? Like, he's over there. Like, he's beside you and you still overhit him. Like, what? I don't know how many yards. I'm like, that's not possible.
We're gonna bring up that Cuadrado pass to the sideline.
That was hilarious. Okay, like that was just, I don't know. Like, he saw properly without, like, he didn't look up. He saw something blackish and he just thought.
I could kind of see, because it was the other coach. It wasn't Allegri.
Yeah. No.
I don't know his name, sorry, but
Andrizzoli.
Yeah, so he had that black jacket on, and it kind of, I could see, perhaps, like, just because I know the corner of your eye, you got your head down and you see a flash of color and you just pass it off. But I mean, comedic tragedy, I guess, is the best way to say that.
Yeah, and in the second half, he had a flashy orange, how do you want to call it? Shirt
like
on.
a penny?
Yeah, like a training vest, something on. He put that on, but then Allegri was wearing black and he didn't have to do it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
That's funny. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. But that was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I lose my shit. I lost my shit when he did that.
Yeah, my
But I
hands
was,
got thrown up in the air.
yeah, when I calmed down, I'm like, yeah, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen already. I think it was Bayern. I think it was Boateng. He also, like, he saw someone on the digital, how do you want to say it? Digital, around the field sponsor board or whatever you want to call it. He saw, I don't know, I think it was like a Santa Claus passing by and he thought it was a Bayern player, so he passed him to it. It was nobody. I think it was Boateng. I'm not sure. But it happens. It happens. Lucian saying, wait, let me see. Ooh, has this Juve management not found this Juve frustrating and pathetic to watch? Aside some
Oh,
players,
they have.
I think, yeah, I think they have.
You
That's
can
why I
tell when
invested.
they fade over to Nedved and all the bigwigs up there watching the game. They never look impressed. They always have that look of disappointment. It seems.
I agree. And Hanin said, who thinks at least one youngster will start? Raise your hand if you think so. And I agree. I think someone is going to start. I think
there'd be one.
His hands are tied around his back. Like, he cannot. I don't know. It's Allegri at the end of the day.
At least from the bench, but we'll see.
Yeah. Jesus, I think Enzo is baiting me. He's saying Pellegrini, De Ligt, Rugani, and the Schiller should be our back four. I hope that's bait.
I mean, well, Rugani might not be able to be in, but
no,
I mean,
if
what else do you have?
If everyone's fit, I want Danilo, De Ligt, Bonucci, and Pellegrini. I know people will say, "Oh, we need Chiellini," but our midfield still stinks. Like, we are not good in terms of playing out from the back, and Bonucci is key for that. He is.
Yeah.
Is Chiellini better defensively? Of course he is. Like, it's not a debate, but we need his ability to play out from the back. That's it. It's what it is.
And that's another thing. Yeah, sorry. We have been long balling it a little more than I think a team of our technical ability should be doing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think yesterday Vlahovic did better because he moved around. Like, he wasn't static. Like, compared to the Torino game against Bremer, he was very static.
He was just getting funneled right into him. Yeah, it was.
He needed to
annoying.
Basically feel the moment and just get away from Bremer and take him away, like make him sweat. And he was like very static, but yesterday he was very mobile, and that helped him a lot. But yeah, the long balls at some point it was ridiculous. Like, he was fighting for his life to hold on to the ball. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, just stop doing it. But yeah, Hanina's saying, I think it's easier to see someone start than coming from the bench. I agree for Wednesday. I agree. Mr. Dyke saying, can't wait for a game next season with the starting 11 of Dybala, Vlahovic, Chiesa, Locatelli, Arthur, Zakaria, Pellegrini, De Ligt, Chiellini, Bonucci. Chesney, well, a lot of those players won't be at the club, I think, or start. I don't believe. Like, Dybala can be out.
Yeah, I think Arthur will be out. Him.
Arthur will be out for sure. I think Pellegrini will also be out. And De Ligt, we have no idea. And Chiellini also. Like, it's all up in the air.
Half or more. Most of those guys might not even be there. Like, it'd be cool to see, I suppose, if they do stick around. But
Lucy saying Allegri might have used Morata as midfielder rather than using some proper midfielders from the youth. Yeah, and I tweeted that out as a joke that he will play himself. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does something crazy like that, or just play 4-4-2, but just stick Cuadrado in that midfield, like something like that. If Bernardeschi would be fit, it would be a 4-4-2 with nobody getting a rest. But he's not fit, so that's also a problem now. Okay. I want to talk about Vlahovic now a bit, because when he came in, I was like, I asked people how many goals will he score in the, I don't know how many games it was, 18? I said, including Champions League, something like that. And people were saying like 20 and 15. And I said, like, if he hits 7 to 9, that will be amazing. And he's on 4 now? No, 5. 4.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's 4.
It's 4. Champions League, first game, and now 2. It's 4. So he's halfway there, in my opinion. Like if he hits 9, I think that's a win already. But is he the reason we will get top 4 if we make it? Will he be the main reason of that, or do you think we would have still made it, or if we make it, if we just had Morata and we didn't bring in Vlahovic?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we were on the trajectory still to make top 4 before Vlahovic came in. I don't know. He's definitely gonna. I think he's the difference of comfortably getting the top 4, opposed to maybe doing what we did last year and waiting for some other team to lose a match to get top 4.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes enough
that
sense.
makes sense. I don't think we're making top 4 comfortably. Like I don't think we're gonna make it either way. I'm just gonna stay inconsistent with. Like I've said it and I will keep saying it until we're gonna make it, and then I need to change my mind. But I don't think it's gonna be like with 5 games to spare we're in it, because I don't think that's just possible. With 11 games left, like Atalanta need to go on a crazy losing streak now. But I think he will be the reason if you make top 4. It will be him. It will be because of him, just because of the few chances we create, or the chance we create, he will just bury them. That's what I believe. So I would say yes, because let's be honest, if that were Morata yesterday, I don't think we would have scored those 2 goals, because he would take that first shot immediately, and that second one, he didn't have that control. Maybe the chip, I will give him that, but still, like it's different. So I would say he will be the reason if you make top 4. Not again, you need a team, blah blah blah, all those things, but like you know how it is. If he comes in and he keeps smashing it, it's kind of because of him, because he's almost at the same goal tally as Morata in Serie A, and he's just here for like a few games. So it's kind of like, yeah, he will be the reason. Also because you look around, Dybala's like he's injured again, so it won't be because of him. No, so it's gonna be because of him. Because
I just shake my head whenever I hear about Dybala being injured again. Sorry, just typical, I guess, unfortunately.
And Mr. Dax is saying, was Allegri former footballer or only been a coach? No, he was a footballer. He played for Pescara, I think. Yeah, he played for Pescara. Let me see. I think Empoli game shows how much we need Vlahovic top 4, says Giovanni. I agree. Because we struggle, and he won us that game. He did. No way, guys. Without Vlahovic, we'll be out of the top 4, says Raven. I think Raven. Yeah, it's Raven. And Anzo saying, imagine us right now without him. I agree. Raven is saying, Atalanta didn't win the last 7 games in Serie A. Don't even have one striker now. It's not like they start to win every game now. No, but it's also not like they're going to keep losing games. Like they're going to snap out of it. Again, I'm not saying they're going to win 11 games now, but they will snap out of it, because the same for us, not me, but a lot of people are looking at our schedule, Juve fans, and saying, oh, it's easy. If you look at Fiorentina, Atalanta's schedule, it's the same strength. So they will say, oh, it's easy. They will say the same thing. And they have 2 games in hand. So they're in the driver's seat now. We are still chasing. We are in it, but we're not in it. Yeah. I think they will win. Like, who did they play? They play Sampdoria tomorrow at home. They will win at home. If it were Sampdoria away, I think they would struggle, because I think we will struggle against Sampdoria away in a few weeks' time. But it's Sampdoria at home, and then it's Torino at home. I've watched Torino again. Yeah, it's against us. It's a derby. They were up for it, but they're awful. Like they're not good. They have a good coach. I like the coach, but like overall, they're not a good team again. So I think they will win that game in hand also easily, just because it's Torino. So So yeah, I don't know. Many believe. Maybe I'm too negative, but I'm not a believer still. So yeah, some believe in the title. I don't know. They still do.
The title mathematically is hard to justify, I think, as Allegri's kind of pointed out on a couple occasions now. Like, it's possible, but statistically speaking, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Top 4 is obviously still very likely. Yeah. So that's, you just you focus on that. It's what you gotta Get your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get
Of
your head in
course.
the game and just we'll hope for the best is best. Basically, it. We're fans. We have to, despite all our negativity, we gotta take this ride and just enjoy it for what it is.
I agree. And Hasa saying top four is in our hands. It's not. It's in Atalanta's hands. If they win all their games, they're in it. And I know they're not gonna win it, but like they have it in their hands. Like they're in control. If they win out, they're in it. We cannot do anything about it. So it's not in our control at the moment. It isn't.
Well, if they win both their games in hand, then they would be tied with us as it stands. So it's essentially neck and neck because they're at 44 right now with 2 games in hand, and we're at 50.
Oh, you mean Atalanta, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it's,
so
it's,
in terms
it's
of
tied. It's tied, but like they won over us. Like they have the tiebreaker over us, so it's still a point. It's still a point, basically.
Yeah.
So
yes, they would take that spot if all things are equal.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's in their hands. Like win out, you're in it. It's probably not gonna happen, but yeah, they're in control basically. Like if you want to put it how it is, they're in control. Hanina's saying I think the difference will be we have Vlahovic and they are playing without Zapata, and that could be. But again, they lost a lot of points because of injuries, and we are in the same boat now. So you can also say that. But I agree, them not having Zapata is a big miss.
Yeah, he's pretty clutch for them too. So that could be a difference maker right there. You never know. We'll find out, I guess, in a few more weeks.
Yeah, and Hasa saying it's both in our hands. We need to score more goals. No, it's a tiebreaker. You can score 200 goals now. You won and you lost. You drew and you lost against them. They're in it at the end of the season. Even if you score 200 goals now, and even if it was about goals, we're not doing. We're not doing it. Yeah. We're not doing it. Like our goal record is it's embarrassing this season. So that's an option. That's no option either way. And just saying Roma barely beat Spezia last minute. Yeah, they play team stuff, especially at home. They do. They get a penalty in the minute 100. So that's insane. It was a penalty, and they should have scored earlier, especially in the first half. But yeah, it is what it is. What did I say I want to talk about? I need to write it down now. I need to start writing things down. I said Vlahovic, injuries, Fiorentina. Yeah, we had everything basically. I think we had everything. So now
he's on injuries in the Copa game.
Yeah, so now it's a bit relaxed. What do you want to talk about?
I'll just throw out a quick stat. Our goal differential, Juventus and Atlanta, were both at 16.
Yeah, so they conceded more, right? A lot more, I think.
Yeah.
Or like 6 more goals or something like that.
So we're 41-4, 25 against. They're 46-4, 30 against.
Yeah.
So if that system existed, in a hypothetical world, then yes, it would still be very even at this point, right? So it's neck and neck regardless, any way you're looking at it.
Yeah, but for now it's tiebreaker, so it's pointless. They have tiebreaker over us, so we cannot do anything about that. Home of you was saying, what do you guys think of Fabian Ruiz? I would love to have him at Juve. If you don't sign Pogba or Savic, he's going to Spain. He wants to return to his country. So, but he is a good player. Giovanni saying, do you guys think Allegri is gonna use Fagioli or Ravella next season?
Ravella, maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Not even as a deep sub.
No, I have a feeling Fagioli will stay with the team again, just because he has been around. I'm not saying he's gonna play him, but I think that's just my feeling. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, also saying our Champions League to win this year. I don't know if you're talking about the under-19s, maybe, but not the first team.
Our women's team, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, like everything can happen, but like, if
it does, it's wild.
I've watched Liverpool Chelsea today, and that tempo for 120 minutes was insane. Like
Hey, who won that one? I had money on that. I
Chelsea,
didn't even check.
Liverpool on penalties.
Nice.
The
Okay, I
goalkeeper
won that
missed.
one. Awesome.
It was that tempo for 120 minutes. I've not seen anything like that before. I think, like it was end to end at times. It was unbelievable.
Well,
And
those are probably, I don't know, other than maybe Man City, those are the two best teams. And my two favorite teams, I would say, in the EPL currently.
like I was watching that and I was thinking, about imagine Rabiot needing to play this game. I like he will sub himself off in 20 minutes time because he will cry. Like that
Oh, here,
pace, that tempo, it was insane. Like it was that duels, like it was the intensity was actually off the charts. I was thinking
at
about
least,
imagining us playing that game and seeing Rabiot in that midfield. I was like, or Morata, even Morata playing that game. I'm like, oh my god, this Sandro. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
oh, Sandro, yeah.
And again, we played Chelsea. We got our asses whooped 4-0.
Yeah, that second game. The first game was,
Yeah, the first game
tactical delight.
yeah, and they were in a bad moment also.
Yeah.
In the league. But I watched that game and I was like, Jesus, we are miles off, like miles. And I'm not saying like when we made the Champions League, those two finals, we were not in a team that was how you want to say with that intensity for 90 minutes. We just had so much more quality, so we can get out of weird situations and stuff like that. But if you just look at that game, Liverpool, like the intensity, the tempo, we are miles off. Like it almost made me cry thinking about the way we play, how slow it is and everything. I'm like, oh my god, this is like if you tell a Liverpool fan or a City fan, sit with me and watch a Juve game, they will cry. I think they will actually cry. They will not believe what they will see. It's just a world, like a different world. It's a different world. But
It is, and well, that's why a lot of people do watch EPL as opposed to say in the other league, right? Especially if you're not from that particular country,
yeah, I
because
get that.
because it's at that level, yeah.
But still, like in general, like I don't expect this. We never were that team. Not even when we had super teams in 2003 and like in the 90s, we were not that high intensity team. Like for 90 minutes going for like we were not never. Maybe more in the 90s, but still not to the extent of what Liverpool and those teams are now.
Well, you can't even compare, especially those 90s teams, even 2000 teams, the sports science in the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I agree. That's why
Nutrition,
I say it wasn't the same. And it was different. But
It's
like,
hard to compare that.
if you look at those teams play, like we are mild. Like there's no way you can beat those teams over two legs. No way. Like it's impossible. It's impossible. Like everything needs to go your way. Like they need to miss chance after chance. They need to pick up red cards. Like the few chances you get, you need to put them in the back at the back of the net. Like that's the only way you can beat those teams, and that's the reality. So yeah, everything can happen, but like let's just worry about beating Villarreal at home first, because I think that will be a struggle already.
Yeah, well, one step at a time, right? Let's let's do that. Let's try to win that game.
I said
and
it
move
to
on.
Julian. If we make it out of, we should be making it past Villarreal. But I think after that, the pressure is off. It's off because nobody expects us to win the Champions League. And if you get a Liverpool and teams like that, pressure is off. It's off.
Yeah, and I think that's where we play the best anyways. We don't seem to be a team where the players at least have that mental headspace where they're when the pressure's on them, they don't seem to compete. But when what was it, that last Copa game? Was it the round of 16? Who did we play now? I can't remember who we were playing, but we were.
I think.
Was that the one we're really free flowing?
Yeah, at times. At times we were free falling at the back, and Sassuolo were getting their way. Yeah, it was Sassuolo because Perrine was having a great first half.
Yeah.
And Hassa saying Inter didn't do bad against Liverpool, but I don't want to say him, but Inter are a better team than us this season. So,
yeah,
and they did well, but at the end of the day, they still lost. They still lost, and they're going away to Liverpool, and they will lose again. So, it is what it is. Like it's fun, like you can dream, but like we had better teams and we didn't win it. So, I don't know. This team is actually one of the worst teams. It is probably the worst team of the last 11, 10 years. It is. Like, and maybe there's more quality compared to the first season, but I will debate that even. But like the mentality is awful. It's
Well, that's the
actually
big
bad.
thing.
It's
Like
bad.
the players that we have aren't bad. Like Rabiot, a lot of top teams would probably take Rabiot.
I hope so.
Versus, yeah, exactly. Hope so. But yeah, it's just the mentality, and it's the collective mentality. Dusan obviously, and he's ice cold. You see him, and
Yeah.
you only hope that that's contagious. It should be contagious, but I
Yeah.
want that mentality to spread, especially through that midfield, because like Bonucci, Chiellini, they'll show up and battle, but Arthur, Rabiot, yeah, they need to toughen up.
Yeah. And Hassa saying the round of 16 was Sampdoria 4-1. That's true. But we also
Yeah.
played Sassuolo because Perin was in goal. Was that in the league? Was that in the league? No, that was not in the league. Oh, okay. Round of
Was that the
16 and
quarterfinal?
okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that makes more
I'm
sense. Yeah, it's
confusing
round
it. I'm
16. We
confusing.
did well. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
That's true. But yeah. What do I want to say? I had something in my mind. I forgot. I'm gonna keep a notebook beside my desk because I forget. As always when I need to lead the show. Usually it's Julian.
It's late
he
for you.
remembers. Yeah. Enzo saying Savic, Pogba, or Gravenberg in the summer, huge upgrade on the left compared to Rabiot. I mean, yeah, that speaks for himself.
I mean, Gravenberch, as much as I would love to see him as a prospect, we still don't really know, where he's going to develop with that, and especially under Allegri.
Yeah, he stalled this season with his development. I've seen him a lot last season, even the season before, and his sound is, I don't say like not up for debate, but it's, are you gonna progress? Are you gonna develop? If you bring in that player, he needs to play. But he played a lot of games, Champions League games. Like,
yeah,
you will play if he joins. You will play. Also because you're gonna move players out. I like Arthur. He's gone in the summer. Like the first offer that will come in, Allegri. So yeah, we'll say yeah, do it.
Is there any financial restrictions with Arthur though? Because of, well, I guess that financial investigation just cleared, so they're probably okay there now.
Yeah, but they want just a long-term loan with an option, just not a quick loan, and then he's back. But Allegri doesn't rate him. You can say after every game he played well, you bench him always, so you don't rate him.
Yeah.
Like, he's an experienced player, you don't rate him. And Spiro, I think it's Spiro or Spiros because it's in Greek and I cannot read. If I remember well, I think it's Spiro or Spiro. Said for me, if Allegri doesn't give the young players a chance, he should be sacked because that's a project. Like,
that's a good point.
Is that the project?
We were assuming.
We were assuming, but has anyone told us that's the project? I think the project is get the age down, don't hand out stupid contracts, and that's the project. And if possible, get Italian players. I think that's the project. Yeah. So if you look at it that way, you say, yeah, give the young players a chance, and most of them are Italian. Fagioli, Rovella, Miretti, it's just Sule and Ake. And Ake, I think he will leave it at the end of the season because you will go in the French league and you will get some money or just loan him out. But yeah. Yeah, Hassa's right. Again, you need to make it past Villarreal, but he says if you do get past Villarreal, we have a chance of facing Bayern, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, PSG, Ajax, or Man U, or Atletico. That's insane.
I think. Man U would be fun to watch, just to watch both teams implode at the same time.
Yeah, that will be one of the most awful, horrendous games to watch in a long time. Like, both teams are awful. Like, they're just bad, technical.
Yeah.
But even Ajax, like, if we play Ajax, we lose. The team is not as good as the team a few years back, but the way they play, we cannot match that intensity. No chance.
Yeah, they have a good system.
We can. We actually can. But the other teams, they want, like, reading them out, it's sad. Like, even if again, we need to beat Villarreal, but like even thinking past Villarreal, but like even if you make it out, it's like Jesus. How on earth are we gonna? How? Like maybe Bayern, you will have a bit more of a chance. I say chance because they're a bit struggling, but like if they hit all cylinders, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah.
Because you cannot match what they have. It is what it is.
We got to think more long term. I think this year, obviously, we know not the best. Let's just battle for the best position we can in the Champions League.
I agree.
Let's get as much money as we can so we can reinvest that so we can come back stronger next year with the players that hopefully work in some sort of system that we're trying to develop.
Yeah, I've still no idea what the system is. I mean,
No.
if I think it's gonna be a 4-3-3, something like that, or a variation on it, like with Dybala playing in behind, but like Chiesa being out, it's a big one. I think that's the biggest one, because he can change, like he can offer Allegri or even the team more solutions to what we're struggling now. Like he's direct. We don't have that on the wing now. We don't. He loves to take on players. We don't actually really have that the way he does that, and he's quick. Again, with the injury, we need to see. We need to be very patient when he's back. I think he will be back in November. You need to be very patient and very careful with that.
I'm kind of concerned with Chiesa and where he's gonna fit in because, we're not big on wingers anymore. It seems we don't know if Bernardeschi comes back. Then who do we have for wingers other than Chiesa? Like Keane can maybe play out on the wing.
Yeah.
So like what's the system and where does Chiesa fit in now?
He needs to play wingers. Like you cannot try to convert Chiesa. I don't think the club will allow that because it makes no sense.
So we have to pick up a left wing, like a left winger then.
Yeah. Or it depends on where we will play Chiesa, right, left. He tries to he mixed that up this season, and I didn't like that.
No, but he had 3 right wingers though on paper.
Yeah. I agree.
So what do you do?
I agree. Like again, none of them were really working, so that's that. But yeah, again, it's for the summer. We need to see what's gonna happen because a lot of things can change. And like if one thing changed, like one player goes, it can be a domino effect with things. So I don't know. It's a long way out. So I will read out a couple of more before we wrap it up. I'm just saying will be an Italian novella. Oh, will be an Italian novella Juve against Man U. I don't want that. If we beat Villarreal, because that will be very boring. Anina's saying, would you rather lose 1-0 against Villarreal or win and then go out against City 8-2 in 2 legs?
Sure.
Still the second one.
Take the money. It's a business. You gotta during a rebuild. That's the most important thing. You gotta get your resources.
That 8-2, maybe it sounds very dramatic, but it's very possible. It is.
Yeah. And we would expect it, as sad as it may be to say, but
I would expect like 3-0 away or 3-1 away and like maybe 1-1 at home or 1-2 loss, like something like that. But overall, it would be like a 5-2, like a 4-2, something like that. Maybe 8-2 is a bit pushing it. But I will still take that because I want to win against Villarreal. And if we lose the next one, it is what it is. But I want to win now, so
yeah.
So I'll take that. Crazy Racing, what do you think of Dragozin? I don't rate him at all. I know Hanin does. I don't rate Dragozin. From what I've seen, he doesn't look special. He just looks okay. Again, he's young, but I watched the league when he was 18, and he looked special already. You know what I mean? Again, he's not the league. Nobody like it's different, but I've seen him play I've seen Miretti play when he was 17. I'm like, who is this kid? I remember watching him like, who is this kid? Because he looked different compared to other players I've watched, like Clemenza or I forgot the name of Clemenza, the other one. I forgot the name now. But players in that position in that midfield, I'm like, he looks different. So that's why I'm so quote unquote high on Miretti in terms of he's the best prospect for me. Not already there because I think Sule is further ahead in his development. but that's what, like, watching Dragusin, I'm like, yeah, okay, you're okay, but you ain't it, in my opinion. And he can turn in being it, and I will be wrong, and I will be happy because he's ours. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Mr. Dyke saying, what is Dybala's problem? Why does she? Why does he always have a knock and is out for so long? Does he have a problem inside his body, or is it just bad luck? I would say he has a chronic problem now in terms of injury, a bit like Chiellini with his muscle injuries, like Hazard with his foot injuries, like Coman with his foot injuries. I think it's becoming chronic, and that's why I would not give him 10. I want him to stay, but the club is lowering that price down. They're trying to do it for that reason. Like if he's like that now, how would he be if you give him a 5-year deal and he's 31?
Oh yeah, I think we're not expecting a whole lot. We're going to be spending a lot for not a lot of playing time, I think, long term.
And you know what it is? Like for some reason, he misses big games in the Champions League. Second part of the season. Like it happens too often. And his numbers in the Champions League are already not good. They're not what they should be for a player of his caliber. I keep saying it.
Like I know, man, everyone loves Dybala, and it's hard. Like you'll start riots saying anything negative. Yeah. So I'm not trying to start riots here by any means, but just the strong links we have with Zaniolo and the position he plays, and the stalling with Dybala, there might be some writing on the wall there. I don't.
I don't want to replace Dybala with Zaniolo. I don't want that.
No, I know you don't. But
I saw a stat today. He has more yellow cards than goal contributions since he is playing in Serie A. And that's not even a joke. That was a real stat. I'm like, because I knew his goal contribution isn't what it should be. And again, injuries and all those things. But watching Zaniolo, I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't see a player in him like Chiesa, like a mentality monster. He just want to win, like very focused. Like he's fighting with other players, with other fans, and like he's doing things on the field. Like off the field, I don't care what he does, but on the field, just watching, I'm like, just focus on your own game. And that's what Mancini said. He basically said, you're not in the squad because you need to start focusing on yourself on the field. Off the field, Mancini said, I don't care what you do unless it's illegal. But like, I don't care. But on the field, you need to start focus on yourself. And he doesn't do that. And I just don't see it. I think that will be a mistake. And I know Justin loves him. I like Zaniolo, but like, I'm not. It's not like if Zaniolo comes in, I will be like, oh my god, what have you done? I will be like, okay. Yeah. Do I think you're as good as Dybala? Nope, I don't think that. I think Dybala's more talented. So I get what people say, yes, because of the contract, the injuries. But Zaniolo, is it really that better injury-wise? Like two knees.
Both his knees are gone.
Two knees, yeah. Like
that's rough at that age too. Yeah. It's really rough.
It is. Because you will feel that also. That's my fear with Chiesa. If he comes back, he will lose some speed, explosiveness, like his quick turns. I think he will lose that because he will feel like I tore my ACL. I still feel it sometimes when I just plant my foot. I'm like, There's not.
His only saving grace is that he injured at a time where at least he has some off season to recover as well. So maybe that might help him out.
Yeah, I think he will. He's at least, they say October, but like I don't think he's gonna play until November. I think they're just not gonna take the risk. And then if he's back, he needs to get into it again because no preseason. Yeah, maybe some running and stuff but it's not games. It's not game time. So you will have some time. Yeah. So it's a miss. It's also interesting to see how the club will react on the market at the end of the season. Giovanni's saying, I think we need to get rid of Dybala. Let's see. Hassa saying Zaniolo liked Juve's players' picks. I don't know. Good for him.
Keen liked some PSG things. Yeah. So who knows?
So that's also positive. Let me see. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, we will wrap it up for Sunday. I want to say thanks for everybody in the chat for joining because I know it's Sunday. Also, the video is sponsored by Sportening. Link for that in the description. It's free to download, so do that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, thanks everybody for joining, because on Sunday we usually don't do that. Tomorrow there will be no live because Julian is back, but we're recording a podcast, so no live tomorrow. Tuesday is preview. Wednesday we play. Thursday is probably the giveaway for the Vlahovic jersey. I need to check with Justin, but I think it's gonna be Thursday. And Friday is something new. So we'll have 4 people on the show, and we will have some kind of fan debate. So that's gonna be, I hope, fun. So that's for Friday. So yeah. Do you still have something to say? You want to get something off your chest? I don't know. Maybe like Sandro's great. I don't know.
Well, that's definitely not on my chest. No, that's it. I think we covered everything we need to coming up to the big Copa game. So,
yeah.
And of course, more videos coming out this week to hopefully get your mouth watering for that big Copa game as well. I'll be excited to watch it. Yeah. Regardless of however things are going right now, I'm always excited. It's part of being a fan. You just gotta ride that wave, and that's it. We're maybe bit on a bit of undertow right now, but I'll still ride that wave. So let's do this.
That's right. I'm excited. Even I know what's gonna happen. I'm excited, and then after a game, like, why am I excited? Why? But I am.
You love it. It's part of you.
Yeah,
it's who you are.
It is. And then during the game, like, really, was I waiting all day for this? But it is what it is. So yeah, thanks for joining, Davide.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody in the chat for joining for a Sunday, because it was a good show for a Sunday. And we will see you back on Tuesday with a live.